Well, how often do you see a 9-goal thriller in the semi-final game of the UEFA Champions League? That was what we saw on Tuesday between Paris Saint-Germain, the holders of the competition, and of course Bayern Munich. 9-goal thriller. Who saw that coming? I'm very sure nobody saw it coming, but it happened on Tuesday. Welcome to an edition of Sport Hangout, where we give the latest coming from the ever-busy world of sport. My name is Toby. I've heard a lot of reaction after the game on Tuesday between PSG and, of course, Bayern Munich. Thierry Henry said, well, you people have been complaining about boring football. I don't want to mention the club, but I don't want to mention that club. Complaining about boring football. You saw exciting football on Tuesday in the Champions League, and you are still complaining. Why are they complaining? Why are they complaining? You saw it was end-to-end stuff, but people are still complaining that, well, that is not worthy of a semi-final game in the Champions League.
I think you cannot satisfy the needs or the human wants. Human wants and needs, even both wants and needs, are insatiable. So that's what is playing out in this situation. But play 1-0 semi-final. It's too boring.
It's too boring.
Now you've got 9-goal thriller.
5-4.
It's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
So what do you expect to happen? Like 2-2 or 2-1, but honestly, Toby, I understand a lot of this reaction because look at this cinematic reaction that followed the Atletico Madrid-Barcelona game. That game had a rush of emotions.
Is it the first leg?
The first and both legs.
Okay.
Both legs. People were excited to watch it, and especially after that first leg that ended 2-0 in favor of Atletico Madrid. People wanted to see the reaction.
Of Barcelona,
what will come for Barcelona? Because Barcelona were, but let's be honest with ourselves. PSG might have won the Champions League recently, but they are still not yet up to the standard of Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid in history. When we talk about the size of club, even Atletico Madrid, we can't still. But recently, PSG are a better team, bigger team than Atletico. But Atletico still has this thing, especially pairing them with Barcelona. This season, there was too much bad blood between Barcelona and Atletico, so it's caused a lot of people to want to see this game. And yes, so I think when you see that game,
I don't think that Diego Simeone has something against Barcelona.
The game had just 3 goals.
Yes.
2-1 second leg. But from the kick
of the game
to the end of that game, it was pure joy. Yesterday was just a case of throw the ball forward, go, and it didn't give us that vibes, honestly, truly. It didn't give us that vibes of, I mean, we were looking at 2 heavyweight clash, but it's just like we're getting random scoring games.
Okay, but JJ, we know that the away goal rule has been expunged. Is that the reason why teams now go?
Yes, of course, you know that.
They are not confident. They just want to go out.
You want to score.
Because, see, JJ, during the days of away goal rule, the second leg, the Bayern 1-0 victory will have been enough for them to qualify for the final. But this, if you know,
one thing I noticed about that PSG is whether away goal rule or no away goal rule,
they don't care.
It will not have worked in their favor. Why? Because I noticed yesterday that the moment they started backing off, defending, dropping to defend deep, those were the moment they conceded goals. Their strongest moment yesterday was when they attacked.
Yeah.
When they attacked, they stifled Bayern Munich. They made it practically impossible for Bayern Munich to attack them. They controlled everywhere on that pitch. And look at, they had 2 goals in quick succession.
Yeah. 2 goals in like 3 minutes.
Kvaratskhelia goals, and then a couple of minutes later, Ousmane Dembele. And we thought, honestly, that PSG were going to run riot. We thought it was going to be. We knew there were more goals. And we thought it would be PSG that would, because at that moment, Bayern Munich seemed completely demoralized.
It could have been 6-2. It could have been 5-5.
5-3 and 5-4. It shows defensive frailty from both teams. Attacking prowess, yes. But when games have high scores like that in a game, you begin to question the defense, honestly. That's what people are doing.
Is it the evolution of football? Because now, let me take you back to history. I like history. I'm a graduate of history. In 2010, when Inter Milan defeated Barcelona 3-1 in San Siro, the second leg was at Camp Nou. It was a Jose Mourinho's team, and you know what happens. They block everything. Can you score? I'm not sure a Mourinho team will be 5-2 up, and then it will be 5-4.
Never.
In the Champions League,
honestly, it's so rare. I don't think that's happened. And that tells you something about Mourinho. Mourinho will tell you, look, if it's about vying for titles, defense wins you titles, attacks wins you games. And that's a difference. You could be competing in the league, attack will win you games, but defense will ultimately prove to give you the title. Now look at the situation between Arsenal and Manchester City. They are all, let's say they are both on the same point.
Yeah.
And then now Man City are ahead because they have scored more goals than Arsenal. But Arsenal have considered less. So is that attack wins you games, the defense will ultimately prove to win you titles. Attack is winning Man City the league now. But of course, Arsenal have 3 points because they have played the game more. But attack have given them more goals. And then so you understand that people, neutrals yesterday, some were impressed. But for those who were Bayern Munich or PSG fans yesterday,
of course,
their hearts must be palpitating.
I even saw the post-match reaction of Luis Enrique.
If I were a Bayern Munich or PSG fan yesterday, attack from the opposition would leave my heart pumping furiously because I knew that it's almost like at every attack there comes a goal.
Like Ibadan Expressway.
It's like it's so free.
Free.
And it's not for the first time we've had that in history, honestly. Yesterday was 9 goals. In 2017-2018, first leg, Liverpool-Roma, that ended in 7 goals, 5-2 in favor of Liverpool. In 2010-2011, that was 5 goals in favor of Manchester United. Second leg, that was out, by the way. In 1960, very far away from now, in recent times, PSG, Bayern Munich, the highest scorer in semi-final. But in history, if you go back, you have Eintracht Frankfurt against Rangers. That match ended 6-3, first leg. So it's not like it's the first time that has happened. But I think the manner with which they play, that's what people are talking about. I think that's why a couple of people are saying that match was not really worthy of a semi-final.
Lastly, JJ, how do managers get the right balance, the right blend between going forward and, of course, defending? Because it's very important. Yes, we need you to score goals, but of course, we also need you to defend very well.
Now, the thing is, you look at these teams now, Bayern Munich, I think one thing, these are two crazy teams about pressing. They are both of them are so obsessed about pressing from the front. And then to do that, they don't press with, say, okay, we have 4 defenders. Both of them are playing 4 defenders. They don't press with, okay, say 2 players up front. They press with 3 will go, then 2 midfielders will come and join him.
Yeah.
And at a time, Ousmane Dembele will start the pressing, then he gets the support. But then for Bayern Munich, they don't care. They bring like 6, 7 against Real Madrid. I was counting 6, 7, 8, 9 players.
That's risky
up front.
Because
Real Madrid, well, you see that Real Madrid exploited that, but because there was no understanding chemistry between the Bayern Munich front line, they would have won the quarterfinal games because that back line. And yesterday, that was why PSG scored goals. Bayern's back line was so porous that you could pour water and then you get quite a couple. So I think now company has got. I think it's a mix of company is a mix of Pep Guardiola's and Luis Enrique's style. So the evolution of that mix is going to, and honestly, that was super football yesterday because it was not sideways, no nonsense back passes.
Yeah.
Once they got the ball,
pressing,
what was on their mind
forward.
was going forward. Or we press you, break down your attack, and then score. So I don't think these two teams right now can get balance of attack and defense. They are both obsessed about attacking. We want to score goals. I think scoring goals enthuse them. And so right now, they leave their back line exposed.
And of course, you can't blame them.
You can't blame them.
If you score more goals,
you are going to. So that's.
It doesn't matter whether
it's now a game of who outscores, who outsmarts.
All right. Interesting game of Champions League we saw on Tuesday. PSG, Bayern Munich. I hope that the other semi-final will treat us to something close to that and not the opposite.
Now, you are looking at that. People already have become so pessimistic about that Atletico Arsenal game that I tell you that people will not look at any positives. And if there were moments of positives in that game, because the human mind, the psychology has goes that okay, we don't expect I tell you, I'm expecting that game.
But no two football games are the same, actually.
But I still expect that game
to be exciting,
even be more emotionally exciting than PSG Bayern Munich.
All right, until next time that we are going to meet, I remain Toby.
And I'm JJ. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notification bell. Comment. Do you think yesterday's game was a nonsense game, like people said, or you think we need more of that in football? Drop in the comment box. We'd like to hear from you. Until next time we meet. Bye.